What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Meta Deck Analysis. In this episode, I want to talk about one of my favorite decks to play in the meta right now, which is Renolock. When you're building a Renolock list, the first question you want to ask yourself is, do you want to run combo or not? And the combo consists of three cards: Leroy Jenkins, Faceless Manipulator, and Power Overwhelming. And it's really up to the metagames to decide whether you want to run combo or not. In this meta, where it's dominated by aggro shaman, and there's a lot of smork decks out there, I think non-combo Renolock is much better. Let's jump right into my list that I'm playing. Mistress of Mixtures is pretty important against aggro. The 4 heal is really good, and you can drop it turn 1, and it contests Small Time Buccaneer. Mortal Coil is pretty core. Power Overwhelming is arguably the best card of the 3 combo pieces. And you don't need to play combo to make Power Overwhelming good. It has synergy with Shadow Flame, it has synergy with Faceless Shambler, and it just helps you trade in the early and mid game while also providing burst for the late game. Soulfire is a really good card because there's a lot of 4 health minions in the metagame right now, such as Frowning Berserker. If you don't have an answer to it on turn 3, oftentimes you just lose the game. What other 4 health minions are there? Well, there's Tomb Pillager, there's Azure Drake. So if you miss your Shadow Bolt, you have a cheap removal. So I think Soulfire is a really good card to include in Renolock. Ooze is in every Renolock list, as is Dirty Rat. Dirty Rat is really good against control, while also providing as an extra taunt against aggro decks. If you can make a read that your opponent has all spells in hand, you can drop this against aggro, and it'll act as a 2/6 taunt. Doomsayer is core in every list. Sunfury Protector. There's a lot of people who is not running Sunfury Protector in their Renolock list, but I think Reno decks should run as much heal and taunts as they can. I'm running Jiraxis in this list, which I'll talk more about later. So having a cheap taunt to taunt up your Infernos is really important. Bran is in every list. Bran is extremely core because it has synergy with Kazakis. Demon Wrath. Demon Wrath is a card that I've seen a lot of people cutting. This card, I can't even begin to explain how important this card is against warriors and shamans. You can argue, well, Demon Wrath doesn't even clear Feral Spirits. But there are so many games I've won where I just dropped Demon Wrath on 3 and it killed Small Time Buccaneers, it killed Patches, it killed South Sea Deckhands, it killed Totems. This card is insanely good. Farseer, additional heal is always good. Imking Boss is good enough in the early game to contest against aggro. Shadow Bolt, removal. Blast Crystal is a card that I'm a little bit unsure of. I was running Spellbreaker in my Renolock list because Spellbreaker is really good against Rogue. It's good against the mirror match when you can silence Twilight Drakes, you can silence Sylvanas. And Spellbreaker also provides a lot of utility against aggro shaman. It can silence cards like Flame Tongue, Aya Blackball, but I felt like Spellbreaker just didn't provide as much value as I wanted to in this deck, and oftentimes it wasn't a card that I can play. I didn't have enough time to play it against aggro, and against control decks, I didn't need it. So I opted to put in Blast Crystal Potion just as a secondary removal. You can tell from this deck, or Renolock list in general, that they don't have much single target removal. They have a lot of AoE in the form of Demon Wrath, Hellfire, Abyssal Enforcer, Twisting Nether, but they don't have a lot of single target removal. So including Blast Crystal Potion acts as a second Siphon Soul in a way, which is why I like it in this deck. Faceless Shambler. It's a really good card against aggro and control. Generally, you want to faceless your Twilight Drakes, your Mountain Giants, your Rag, or any minion that you PO. I like running Faceless Shambler over Defender of Argus or Senjin. I think this card is really good in Renolock. Hellfire is core. Kazakus, obviously, is a must in this deck. Vendor is good because it has great stats for a 4-drop while also providing heal to your hero, which is great. Shadow Flame acts as an AoE clear while also providing synergy with PO and Sylvanas. Twilight Drake, second rank bruiser, Emperor is pretty core. Reno, of course, is the whole archetype of this deck. Siphon Soul for single target removal. Sylvanas is a card that I've seen a lot of people cut from their list, but Sylvanas PO and Sylvanas Shadow Flame is just really good against certain matchups, and also dropping this on 6 can provide some awkward trades for your opponent. Abyssal Enforcer is insane. It's a Hellfire with a body. Rag acts as a threat and also another win con in this deck. It's really good against rogues that conceal their minions. You have a chance to clear them. Twisting Nether is pretty important. Jiraxis is a card that, while isn't that great in the mirror, it also provides as a secondary heal against really fast decks such as Aggro Shaman and Pirate Warrior. And oftentimes, this card alone will win you games in control matchups against Control Warrior and Reno Mage. And Reno Mage is a deck that has been on the rise a lot in the meta, so I'd say you should definitely be playing Jiraxis. And Giant is just a core card in Renolock. So let's jump right into ladder and get some games in. I've had a lot of success with this exact list on ladder. I've climbed from the beginning of rank 4 to rank 2 without losing a game.
You asked for it. Your soul shall be mine.
So we're playing against Reno Mage. Against Reno Mage, your game plan is to apply pressure, build up a board that they can't clear, and maybe Jiraxis and win in the long game. With that being said, you want to look for Twilight Drake and Mountain Giant so you can slam them on 4. Emperor is not a bad keep, but we want to maximize our chances for getting those 2 cards. It's important to note that they can burst you down when you play Jiraxis with Fireball, Frostbolt, and second part of Torch. So it's very important to keep track of the burn cards that your opponent plays. You just want to tap and play Giant on turn 4. You don't even want to play Mistress here. As to what potions you want with Kazakis, Resurrect is really good. Granted, you didn't play Doomsayer this game. And the +6 health minions to all is also really good against mage because they don't have reliable board clear. So obviously here we can't play giant. We're sitting at 9 cards, so we can tap and play either Sunfury or Mistress. Or we can do nothing. I value drawing in this matchup, so I'm going to tap. And we're going to drop Mistress over Sunfury. Generally, you want to save Bran so you can Bran Kazakis in this matchup. Or save Kazakis rather. So we have a full hand of 10, so we can't tap. We could drop Giant. And we should drop Protector here.
Shields up.
We're looking to Emperor so we can discount Jiraxis, so on turn 10 we can drop Jiraxis and make an Inferno. It's important to keep note what died in this game so you have an idea of what you're going to resurrect. Obviously resurrecting Mountain Giant, Ragnaros, Emperor is insane. He oozes, which means he won't have it for Jiraxis, but it's not that relevant. So you want to tap as much as you can in this matchup, just to have a lot of resources in hand. So we'll tap Vendor here. Ooh. Is Demon Wrath better? It gives a clear and he can ping this, and he could also fireball this. I think I'd rather play Vendor, put another body on board. So 8-8 is definitely going face here. The question is, what do we want to do with the 2-3? If we trade like this, he could Dirty Rat MC Tech us. I still think this is probably correct. We don't get punished by Volcanic Potion by doing this because his loses at 2 health, so I think it's fine. So he played Bruiser and he pinged. How good is Shadow Flame here? Not that great. It seems like we're gonna Demon Wrath trade our 3-5 in. We can't tap. So hit the Demon Wrath first. We won't have Kazakis. If we play Bruiser and then Demon Wrath, So I did just say you want to save Brand Kazakis to be played together, but we're so ahead on board. I don't want to float mana. We'll go for a 5 here. Res is great, and Gold Thorn's really good. I feel like tapping floating 2 mana is way too slow. We can constantly apply pressure with Rag and our potion. I think going for a 10 mana is okay, but generally 5 mana potions provide the most value. Frostbolt? Okay, so you can tell that he's saving his burn. He either doesn't have burn or he's saving in his hand. So it's an easy Rag Slam. He can't clear this and Reno, right? You can make a read that from the resources he used to kill Giant, and also leaving up Giant for 3 turns, that he won't have an answer for your Rag.
Mind if I roll need?
Okay. Hmm.
So many possibilities.
I think I want to clear and connect 8 to the face. I think I'll go for the potion. Should I play Farseer?
Serve or die. Eyes are open.
So the only way Mage ever deals with this board is with the 10 mana Kazakus potion, Polymorph or Polymorph all, right? And he just hasn't played Kazakus yet. I don't see how he can deal with this unless he got Twisting Another from Cabal Courier. So playing Jiraxis is actually a way we could lose this game. Playing Sylvanas is a way we could lose because he could Fireball Sylvanas, play Doomsayer. Although he's already played Doomsayer. So we have to play a card. I'm gonna keep Sylvanas in case there's some way he plays a minion that we can't deal with. Like Sogoth. Because Sylvanas Shadow Flame. Okay, so he's definitely going for a 10 here. So we have to pop him. If we can. He picked it really fast, so she definitely got polymorph all. That's fine, that only clears 1 minion. We have 10 cards. Play around Vaporize.
I got this.
So we pop him at 8, which is like Annoying. But we should pop him here. I think we just do nothing. We pop him, he plays his 10 mana potion. It needs to be exactly polymorph all and deal 6 off for him not to die here. Because he'll leave us with 4 1/1s and we'll have lethal with Soulfire. Okay, so he's at 18. Oh, I milled a card? That was a mistake. Shut up, so madness. Damn, I didn't even notice I was at 10. So he's trying to kill me. Do I have lethal? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, 13, 16. So I'm 1 off. So if I didn't mill my PO and had lethal, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 13, 16. He's at, wait, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. 13 plus 3 is 16. He's at 14. Am I seeing this right? I'm so bad at this game. How did I count 13 the first time around?